Afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry that we're here to report on another tragic incident that occurred up here shortly after noon when we had a shot spotter activation. Following that activation, Pittsburgh Bureau of Police, along with the Allegheny County Sheriff's Office, Allegheny County Police, and Port Authority responded and provided great support to us until we got this incident stabilized. Commander Rick Ford is going to provide some basic details on what occurred and where we stand. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Approximately 12:04, there was a shot spotter alert that came out for approximately 5 rounds. There was an additional shot spotter right after that for 15 rounds, the 3700 block. Zone 1 units, as well as other jurisdictions, all responded. There was a report of multiple people shot. When officers arrived on scene, it was determined that there was gunfire that took place outside the church, the 3700 block. There were 4 victims that were self-transported to AGH. There were also 1 additional victim that was critical that was transported by medics. Subsequently, there was a 6th victim that had left the scene that was then transported by medics shortly thereafter. Currently, their conditions, as we know it now, we have 1 critical. We have 5 people that are stable. There was a funeral service that was taking place at the time the shooting occurred. At this time, we don't have any information regarding suspects that we're going to release. We have alerted the schools around the area that it is safe at this time, we believe, for dismissal. We have a strong police presence that we're going to keep in the area, and we're obviously going to be here for several more hours, most likely processing the scene and gathering information.
Commander, we believe this is related to the shooting outside the Sunoco station for John Hornizes, the 20-year-old today.
It was his funeral that was taking place. As far as any of the relationships or what might have precipitated this shooting is still under investigation at this time.
Was there a target, do you believe?
We're still investigating exactly what led to this shooting today.
Were the shots fired from a vehicle?
We haven't determined exactly where all the shots were fired from. They're still in the process of processing the scene.
So we believe that there were more than one gunman?
Most likely, from what we see. But like I said, we're still in the early stages of processing the scene. As you can see, it's a pretty extensive scene. It's extended out, and based on what we find, we may have to extend it even further. So.
From your investigation on the shooting at the Sunoco station, are we seeing some sort of turf battle, some sort of gang activity, neighborhood dispute?
So obviously, we believe there's a dispute going on. We're looking into that. We're going to utilize all the resources as we have been doing currently, and we'll continue to do so. There will be a strong police presence in the areas of concern that we believe are problem areas, so that we can hopefully, prevent anything further from happening at this time.
No gunfire inside the church itself. These were victims, mourners outside of the church.
We're still conducting that actual scene investigation, so it'd be premature for me to comment at this time exactly where all the shots were fired.
Okay, I have a few questions. Any of the people who were shot, were they people who were, do we know if they were people who were attending the funeral?
I believe some of them obviously were in attendance, yes, based on where we know that they were. We're still trying to make that determination. Obviously, they're being treated at the hospital, so we have limited information, but going by what we have on scene, yes.
Can you tell at this point what kind of weapons were used?
I don't have that information. We're still early in the investigation. Obviously, our crime scene's behind us. They're working on that. We'll have a little bit more of that information as we move forward.
Okay, and we spoke to a church director who said that people inside the church were talking about the possibility of a shooting happening at the funeral, and they intentionally secured the doors so no one would be able to get in. If what she's saying is correct, do you think that prevented people from getting inside? It could have been much worse. I mean, were they trying? Any idea if they were trying to go inside the church?
Obviously, that's something we'll have to conduct during our investigation. So I'm not going to comment on that at this point. But obviously, we'll look at all that, and we're obviously talking to everybody that we know that was here in regards to what they saw and what actually took place.
They said that they asked police to be at the funeral. Do you know if that's true, and were officers there?
Yeah, I don't have the information specifics on that, so I'm not going to comment at this time. But obviously, we'll look into that.
Any any video you found, anything that is
There's certain video that we're looking into. Obviously, we have people up here that are experts in that work for us and do that very diligently, as well as the other agencies that are assisting us. So we're going to look at any and all video, and obviously anybody that might have video that we're not aware of, we want you to contact us immediately so we can look at that.
Are you concerned about, and will you warn the neighborhood here in the north side about an escalation after this?
Obviously, yeah. Obviously we need to get together and coordinate all of our efforts and all the information that we have, so that anything that needs to be put out, obviously we'll make sure that gets put out.
Just a couple more questions.
Specifically targeted, or do whoever do this just try to cause as much harm as possible?
Where I can't speak for somebody that did this. Anybody that would precipitate this type of violence, there's no justification for that. But obviously we're looking into what we think the motive was.
5 people were sent to AGH. Where was the 6th person taken?
Children's.
Thank you.
Are there any juvenile victims?
I'm not going to release the ages or identities at this point. Obviously, next of kin and that type of notification needs to be made. So I'm just going to let you know that we have confirmed 6 victims at this time.
the one in critical at AGH or children?
One at critical is at AGH.